So in this 10-minute video, we're going to have a look at how to get you into crow safely. We can all practice parts of the crow. So we're going to break down all the poses that you can be practicing at home and in the studio with us so that you can slowly work towards unlocking that flight, that crow. So let's begin. We're going to start down today on our knees, hands and knees. So placing something soft under your knees if you need to. Spread your fingers and start having an awareness of the pads of your fingers. Because we're going to start, as your practice progresses, you will be utilising the feeling in your fingers much more. So it's just a nice place to start. Feel the fingertips in the mat here. Feel the weight through the palms. Release the toes. A cat and a cow. So breathing into cow, exhaling into cat. Just nurturing the spine. Nice, steady spinal articulation. Just noticing how the spine can really round, because you want that feeling in your crow when you're starting out, especially breathing in and breathing out. Nice. Coming to a neutral position. So now, no tilting in the pelvis, only the shoulders. So feel like you're widening your shoulders and relax. Widen your shoulder blades, and relax. Widen your shoulder blades and relax. Notice how my hips aren't moving, it's all in my shoulders. I'm widening my shoulder blades and relax. It's almost as if somebody is going with my chest and up. Somebody's pressing into my chest and my shoulder blades are widening. So we're using here the serratus anterior to really open up those shoulder blades. Nice. So we're happy with this because we're going to want to feel that feeling. Now we're going to gently open the knees, feet together. We're going to inhale and lean into the hips. Exhale. So crow really helps us explore our hips, helps us open the hips. Exhale. Inhaling forwards, you don't have to go as low as this, just as long as you are feeling that the hips, the knees are a little bit wider than being parallel. And you have this beautiful release through the hips, letting your breath and body work together. And you're also warming up, you're strengthening your arms here as well. Beautiful, nice. Lovely. So bring the knees together. So you can work on each of these isolated exercises, what we call drills, for as long as you want. You might want to do, let's say, a minute, just working on each flow. Or when we come to that section in the class, that you work on that part of the flow that you feel is going to benefit you the most. So we're going to gently roll down into a happy baby pose. Slowly, slowly through the tummy. Try not to collapse as the shoulders meet the mat. Legs up in the air, little shake. Flex your feet. Slide your hands down the side of the legs. Bend your knees. Let the knees drop outside of your shoulders. We're going to hold that outside of the feet and into what we call happy baby pose. So here my feet are up. Imagine the floor is what your feet are standing on here, and we're just gently going to roll from side to side. Now, we never push, we never force anything, but you have here what's called a bind, where the hands are holding on to another part of the body. So you have some natural, something to gently apply a bit of pressure into as you do the stretching. So let your hands just gently press the feet back in a way that feels comfortable for you. And just check in with your body here. Are your feet rolling in? If so, open up the outer edges of your feet. Beautiful, nice. Now from here, we're going to just drop the feet towards the bottom part of your mat, so downwards when you're lying down. We're going to press the hands up towards the sky. We're going to flex the hands. Nice. We're going to bend the arms in, and we're just going to place the elbows on the insides of the knees. Now, if your legs are here, that's absolutely fine. Just go with where you are right now, that's fine. Bend the elbows, place the elbows on the insides of the knees. Now we're going to practice the squeeze of crow. So take both of your knees and press them in towards your midline. And then press the arms out. Press the knees in and relax out. Okay, so we're going to practice just the squeezing in of the legs. So squeeze in the legs and relax. Nice. Squeeze in the legs and relax. Nice. Squeeze in the legs and relax. Now we're going to add the resistance. Squeeze the legs. Press the arms away from that squeezing in. So my arms are pressing out, my knees are pressing in, and all of a sudden my whole body is engaged. And exhale, let go. You can feel those adductors firing up your inside thighs. Squeeze the legs in, press the arms out. Look, I'm even shaking, my muscles are working, and let go. Again, squeezing the legs in, pressing the arms out, feeling those inside thighs, looking strong. And as I release, you will notice that your legs release in their flexibility a little bit more. Squeeze in, press out, hold that feeling. Squeezing in with the knees, pressing out with the elbows, and then relax. Beautiful. And then maybe just bring the legs into a little butterfly pose, just to soften through the inside thighs. So you'll feel a lot of work going on there, really a lot of work. And that feeling is what we want to be feeling when we start moving into our crow, when we're looking at the floor. So slowly coming around, bring your legs together, roll over to the side, use your hands to bring yourself up. So we're going to have a look at squat now, which applies very similar principles, and it's just a nice way to apply that standing up. Squat is a lovely transition for you to practice into crow as your practice gains more flow and control. So I'm going to start with 3 blocks. So when we're starting squat, start with the blocks. Don't just think you have to get down to this pose, yeah, because we might have an inward rotation in the hips. So at the backs of our feet fly off the mat. So we want to first try and work on the technique, try and work on the physical alignment. So use blocks, yeah, use blocks to understand. So feet to 10 to 2. The blocks just help me not have to hold on to the pose, that I can actually move through my body. I can think about what my body's doing. So 10 to 2 with the feet. We're going to lift the arches. I'm going to place the outer edges of the feet into the floor. So what that does is this creates a lovely external rotation through the legs, and it actually, just by default, it makes me want to activate my bottom as well. So there's a lot working. Lift your arches, press the outside of the foot into the mat. Now as we bend the knees, we're going to track knees over toes. Knees over toes, and just go as far as you can whilst lifting the arches, pressing down the outsides of the feet, and just sliding down with that awareness through your feet, with that awareness of an external rotation. And now maybe we can find our blocks, and I'm still thinking about my feet, my arches, the backs of my feet. Now I'm just going to walk my feet a little bit further forward, so I'm a bit more comfortable here, not going anywhere. I'm going to come back to that position where I was on the floor. Hands into a prayer for a starting point. Now it's very common, especially if we have that internal rotation here, that the back falls forwards. Yeah, so again, start with the feet. Arches, outer edges of the feet, allow that to, over time, externally rotate the legs, and then work on just lengthening the spine. Even if we feel a little bit more here, diagonally, but we're lengthened rather than all the way up, yeah? It's understanding your body and trying to work for that expansion in your body, rather than everything being collapsed and folded in. We're trying to open up and length, create some space through the vertebrae. So here, you might just want to try that squeeze. Squeeze the legs in, press the elbows out, all together, that feeling all at once. Squeeze the legs in, press the elbows out, all at the same time. And then maybe open the shoulder blades as if I'm pressing away from something. Imagine there's a wall here and I'm pressing away from it. So you can feel your adductors are firing up, your tummy is strong, your back feels nice and round. So I always describe this like a tortoise shell. We want to make the tortoise shell. So we're squeezing in, we're pressing out with the arms, and now we're rounding the back as if we're pressing a really heavy wall away from us. So the press is from the chest, back, and my shoulders are nicely round and open. Yeah, and I really feel like I've got a tortoise shell. I feel like a tortoise in this position when I'm on the floor. Nice, so that's the feeling that we want when we are working on the fly. So let's go a little stage further. So we're going to put 2 blocks right at the end, so not here, right at the end of our mat. So we're going to place the hands down on the mat for our crow position. Now everybody, when they start off, generally does this. Now even I would find that really hard. It is just very uncomfortable to get, it just doesn't work. So from here, we want to reach forward. So look at the space I've created between my hands and my feet. Yeah. So reach forwards, almost like your forearm length. Yeah. Everybody's sizes are different, so it's quite hard to give you a precise size. But I want you to reach forwards like you are reaching forwards. Now we're just going to work on strengthening the wrists just a little bit, so that your wrists get used to taking the body weight without you actually going anywhere, without you going into a space that might maybe feel a little bit like, ooh, I'm going to fall forwards. So we're going to lift and round the back. See how round my back is. My belly button is lifted like there's a thread going up towards the sky. Look how high I am up. Now I'm going to lift my heels. And it might just be a case of lifting your heels and putting them back down. So the weight's in my feet, the weight's in my feet and hands. The weight is in my feet, the weight is in my feet and hands. And I'm just getting myself and my body used to this feeling of not being down, which is where a lot of people think they need to be, but actually pressing away from the mat, rounding the back, and now apply that squeezing in and pressing out with your elbows. Heels down, weight into the hands. So all we're doing here is adjusting, getting the body used to being on the hands and feet. So stay at all of these poses for as long as you need to, because they're all so valuable. That is really good for your wrists, just getting your wrists mobile and a little bit stronger perhaps. So let's say we want to move on. We want to feel the feeling of going forwards. Yeah, we've applied the round back, just spreading the shoulder blades. Our belly button is lifted, is being pulled up towards the sky when I'm here. I'm squeezing in, I'm pressing out, so all of those little things, we've got that now. So we want to feel, what we need to work on now is stacking your elbow over your wrist. Elbow over your wrist. So if you are here and you are trying to go up, it is impossible. It's impossible. And nobody can get up there unless you've got a really long neck and like your head is over there. Because you need the counterbalance. You need the hips up and the head down, and your balance is in the middle. Now what is going to create your balance is bringing your elbow over your wrist, and it feels like, I always say to my students, imagine you're like peeking over a pond and you want to see your reflection. Yeah, so you're not looking over there. You need to really get over the pond and look at yourself. Look at all of your face. So you're going to feel like a little, oh my God, I'm going to fall. It might feel like that to begin with. So to take that away, the fear, we're going to put blocks there. We're going to put a head on the block, and we're going to work on getting the wrists and elbows over your wrists. So squeezing in, pressing out, round the shoulders, lift the belly button. I'm going to place, I'm peering into the pond and placing my head on a block, super safe, and I'm going to explore lifting a foot and lifting the other foot. And now I'm pressing up, I'm pressing away from the mat, so I'm not collapsing down. I'm not going anywhere here, I'm completely safe. And if you do feel you can, lift both legs. I'm so safe. Yeah, my head is on the block, I'm not going anywhere. And then come out. So this is a nice way to build strength. Nice way to build confidence, knowing that you are not going to fall. And now from here, if you wanted to develop the next stage, put your head on the block, feel that you've stacked elbows over wrists, your head will be farther forwards enough, your hips are up, and now practice pressing away from the block. Like you've got a funny smell under your nose and you want to get away from it. That will give you the height, that will give you the flight. Yeah? So nice gap, round the shoulders, lift the belly button. See how much I go up into this? I'm not going down. I'm going to go forwards, get my elbows over my wrists, put my head down, take the feet off, and now practice fingertips on the mat, the back of my hand on the mat. So this part, so I'm going to shift my weight just a little bit into the fullness of my hand, but I'm probably far forwards at the moment. So just a little adjustment back to lift my head off of the mat. Shoulders wide, squeezing in, lift your belly button, head on the block, lift your toes, and press away from your block. And over time, you will find that place of flight where you're not kicking, you're not forcing, you're simply balancing. And it feels so good, it feels so exciting in your body. Just to recap, if I'm in the right position, elbows stacked over wrists, it doesn't matter if my feet are on the floor or not. I can do anything with my feet. And this is why if you are pushing, you're not in the right place, yeah? You're not stacked correctly. You probably will have to go a little bit more further forward, so practice that with your block. I'm here, I'm in the right position. It doesn't matter if my feet are on the floor or off the floor. My body is in the right position. I don't need to kick, I don't need to adjust, I just need to point. Yeah? So that's your homework. Have a little go. Let me know in the comments if that was useful. Let me know where you are in that process, what part of that process you enjoy practicing and working on. If you have any questions, let me know and I will give you a hand.